A woman never truly appreciates a man until she feels his absence. Most men get it wrong by chasing, begging, or trying to remind her of their worth. But the truth is, a woman only realizes she needs you when something shifts inside her, when she feels the weight of losing you. And this doesn't happen because you tell her. It happens because of what she feels when you're no longer there. Modern dating has flipped the game. Women have more options, more validation, and more distractions than ever. They think they can replace you overnight. But that's only true if you let them. The key is understanding when a woman starts to feel the loss in a way that shakes her confidence. When she notices the shift in your energy, when she expects you to be available but you're not, when she sees that you've moved on without hesitation, that's when something clicks in her mind. She starts questioning if she made the right decision. Most men lose power because they try too hard to prove their worth. The strongest move you can make is to pull back, let silence do the talking, and allow her to experience life without you. This isn't about playing games, it's about showing your value by not being available on demand. That's when a woman's mind starts working against her. In this video, I'll break down 7 key moments that make a woman realize she needs you back. If you handle these correctly, she won't just want you. She'll feel a deep, undeniable pull toward you. Let's get into it. I've created a community on Podium where I break down everything you need to know, step by step. You'll get no-nonsense practical advice that will boost your confidence and help you build stronger, more meaningful connections. And the best part? The first 20 people who join will get an exclusive discount. So don't hesitate, click the link in the description to grab your spot. If you know someone who could use this, share it with them. 1. When she sees you aren't affected. The first moment a woman realizes she needs you back is when she notices that her absence doesn't shake you. This is where most men fail, because they react emotionally. They get upset, chase, try to seek closure, or constantly check in to see if she still cares. But a man who is unaffected triggers something deep inside a woman. Uncertainty. Women expect men to be emotionally shaken when they pull away. They expect sadness, desperation, and the usual attempts to win them back. But when a man responds with total control, when he remains grounded, continues his life, and doesn't seek validation from her, she starts to second-guess her decision. This isn't arrogance or pretending to be fine. It's the genuine confidence of a man who knows his worth. Women respect men who don't crumble. The moment she sees you living your life without missing a beat, a thought creeps into her mind. Did I make a mistake? She might not act on it right away, but it plants a seed of doubt. This doubt grows when she realizes you haven't reached out, you haven't tried to convince her to stay, and most importantly, you haven't reacted the way she expected. The modern dating world is full of men who validate women endlessly, even after rejection. This creates a sense of entitlement where women believe they can leave and return whenever they want. But when she leaves a man and he doesn't chase, that throws her off balance. She starts wondering why she wasn't as important to him as she thought. Think about it. The people we value most are the ones who aren't easily replaceable. If you show her that you're unaffected by her leaving, she has to ask herself why. If she expected you to suffer, why aren't you? If she thought you would wait, why have you moved on? That psychological shift is powerful. A real-world example. A man named Jake was dating a woman who ended things because she wanted to explore her options. Instead of getting emotional, he simply said, "All right, do what you need to do." He went back to his life, focusing on his business, working out, and spending time with other people. Months later, she started watching his stories, finding excuses to text, and eventually admitted she regretted leaving. Why? Because she expected him to be available when she was ready. Instead, he remained unshaken. The biggest lesson: your strength is in your response. When you show a woman that her leaving has no effect on your mindset, emotions, or direction in life, she will feel it. Women are drawn to stability. And when she realizes that she was the unstable one, that's when the desire to return begins. 2. When she sees you thriving without her. A woman starts to second-guess her decision when she notices that your life has only gotten better since she left. Nothing messes with a woman's mind more than seeing a man upgrade in every way, physically, mentally, socially, and financially, after she walks away. This is where most men fail because they sit in heartbreak, hoping she'll come back. But the men who truly make an impact, they level up. Women expect a man to struggle after a breakup. They assume you'll sit around missing them, replaying old memories and feeling lost without them. But when the opposite happens, when you improve instead of decline, it sends a shockwave through her emotions. She starts to wonder, was I holding him back? Did I underestimate him? This moment is critical because it flips the power dynamic. A woman will always believe she is the prize in a relationship until she realizes that losing you meant losing something valuable. And the only way she sees that is if your life is thriving without her. Women are wired to be drawn to strength, ambition, and social proof. The moment she sees you glowing up, her mind starts working against her. If you're hitting the gym, improving your style, making more money, and socializing with high-quality people, she suddenly feels like she lost access to something rare. Social media makes this even worse for her. If she left you thinking you'd sit in sadness, but she checks your profile and sees you winning, that's when regret sets in. She sees pictures of you out enjoying life, dressed better, surrounded by friends, and unbothered. It's not about making her jealous, it's about becoming the kind of man she never should have left in the first place. A woman's biggest fear is losing a high-value man to another woman. And when you level up, she knows that another woman will eventually take notice. The moment she sees you thriving, looking better, and moving forward without hesitation, she realizes that she made a mistake. Take David, for instance. He was in a long-term relationship, but his girlfriend left him because she wanted space. Instead of trying to convince her to stay, he hit the gym, changed his wardrobe, built his business, and started traveling. He wasn't doing it for her, he was doing it for himself. But the side effect? Months later, she started liking his posts, sending random texts, and eventually told him, "You've really changed. I miss you." Why? Because he became a better version of himself without her, and that's when she realized she needed him back. A man's greatest revenge is success. Don't wait for her. Don't beg for her back. Upgrade your life and let her feel what she lost. If she sees you thriving, she'll regret leaving. Simple. 3. When she realizes no one else measures up. A woman will only truly feel your absence when she goes out into the world and sees that no other man gives her what you did. This is a slow realization, but when it hits hard. She might have left thinking she could replace you easily, that another man would come along and make her feel the same way. But reality doesn't always match expectations. Most women don't leave a relationship to be alone. They usually have options, or at least they believe they do. But the problem is, options don't always equal quality. She might start talking to other men, dating around, or even jumping into a new relationship. And at first, she might enjoy the attention, but eventually, she starts comparing. She starts noticing the differences. Maybe the new guy isn't as confident. Maybe he's not as stable. Maybe he doesn't understand her the way you did. And that's when the doubt sets in. This is how regret builds. A woman only realizes she had something great when she experiences something worse. You don't have to prove anything to her. Time will do that for you. She will naturally measure every man she meets against you, whether she admits it or not. If you were a man of value, if you treated her well, had strong principles, and carried yourself with confidence, then no ordinary guy will ever feel the same to her. The problem for her is that a man like you is not easy to replace. She might try to convince herself otherwise, but deep down she knows it. And the moment she's sitting across from another man who doesn't spark the same attraction, who doesn't lead with the same confidence, or who doesn't provide the same security, she feels it. It's a silent realization, but it sticks in her mind. This is why it's crucial that when a woman leaves, you don't chase. You don't try to remind her of your value. You don't beg for her to come back. Because if you were truly valuable to her, she will realize it on her own. And when she does, the desire to reconnect becomes strong. A classic example, Mark had been in a relationship for 2 years. His girlfriend ended things, saying she needed time to figure herself out. He didn't argue, he didn't chase, he just let her go. Months later, she reached out wanting to meet up. Why? Because she had dated other men, and none of them made her feel the way he did. She missed his presence, his leadership, and the way he carried himself. No other man measured up, and eventually she felt the loss. The key takeaway? Never convince a woman of your worth. Let her experience the difference. Once she does, she'll understand exactly what she lost. 4. When she sees that you're unaffected. A woman expects a reaction when she leaves. She expects you to chase, to text her, to show her that you're struggling without her. She wants to feel wanted, even when she's the one walking away. That's why one of the most powerful moments in a woman's mind is when she realizes that you are completely unaffected by her absence. Silence is powerful. Distance is powerful. When you don't react emotionally to her leaving, it confuses her. It makes her wonder, did I even matter to him? Was he really attached to me? This uncertainty messes with her ego. She might not have wanted to be with you anymore, but she still wanted to know that she had an impact on you. And when she doesn't get that, that's when she starts to feel the loss. Most men make the mistake of reacting immediately. They start texting, calling, apologizing, doing anything to keep her in their life. This only validates her decision to leave. She thinks, I had all this power over him and I still do. And that kills attraction. Women don't respect weakness. They don't admire emotional instability. If a man can't handle her leaving, she knows she made the right choice. But the opposite is just as true. When she expects you to break down, but you remain calm. When she expects you to reach out, but you disappear. When she expects you to prove your worth, but instead you go on living your life. That's when her mind starts working against her. She starts replaying moments in her head, wondering if she misjudged you. It's in a woman's nature to test a man's emotional strength. Leaving is a test. Ignoring you is a test. Seeing how you react is part of her evaluation of your value as a man. If you crumble, you fail the test. But if you stand firm, she sees something different. Something that most men don't have. Self-control. A real-world example. Jason had been dating a woman for a year when she decided she wanted space. Most men in his situation would have tried to negotiate, but he didn't. He simply said, all right, do what you need to do. Then he cut off all contact. No texts, no checking in, no begging, just silence. Weeks later, she reached out. Hey, I just wanted to see how you've been. But he didn't respond immediately. He wasn't playing games. He was genuinely focused on his own life. And that's what pulled her back in. She felt his strength, and she started craving the attention he wasn't giving her. The key takeaway? A woman only realizes she needs you when she sees you don't need her. Your emotional control is the most attractive thing you can display. She will only come back when she feels that she's the one chasing. 5. When she notices you're becoming more desirable. A woman's biggest fear after leaving a man isn't that he'll be sad or hurt. It's that he'll level up without her, that he'll become more attractive, more successful, and that another woman will take her place. When she sees that you're growing, improving, and thriving, that's when she starts to feel regret. Women don't want to leave a man and then watch him become a better version of himself for someone else. It makes her question if she made the right choice. She thought she could replace you, but now she's realizing that you were the prize. And someone else might win what she walked away from. The reason this works so powerfully is simple. Women are competitive. They don't want to see a man they were with suddenly becoming more attractive to other women. It triggers something in them, an instinct to reclaim what they let go. This is why self-improvement is your greatest weapon. Instead of sitting around wondering if she'll come back, you need to be hitting the gym, focusing on your purpose, expanding your social life, and becoming a stronger, more confident man. When she sees you out enjoying life, when she hears that you're doing well, when she notices that other women are starting to give you attention, that's when it hits her. An example, David had been in a 3-year relationship before his girlfriend left, saying she needed something different. Instead of begging or chasing, he disappeared. He started working out, upgraded his wardrobe, focused on his business, and even started dating casually. Months later, his ex reached out. At first, it was just small talk, but soon she was asking about his life, reminiscing and hinting at meeting up. Why? Because she saw that he had moved forward, and she didn't want to be left behind. A woman's attraction isn't just about what you were before. It's about who you're becoming. And when she sees that you are becoming a better man, it creates a sense of urgency in her. She starts wondering, if I don't go back now, will he be gone forever? And here's the truth. If you do this right, she won't be the only one noticing. Other women will start seeing your value too. And that's when you truly win. The key takeaway? Your growth makes her regret leaving. The more you evolve, the more she realizes she left something valuable behind. 6. When she realizes no one else measures up. A woman often leaves thinking that there's something better out there. She believes that she can find a man who excites her more, who gives her more attention, or who matches some fantasy she has in her mind. But here's the truth. Most of the time, the reality doesn't match the expectation. When she leaves you, she's stepping into the unknown. At first, she feels powerful. She has options, she has freedom, and she thinks she's moving towards something greater. But after a while, she starts to notice something. The men she's meeting don't measure up. She expected instant happiness. She thought she'd find a guy who was more charming, more confident, more exciting. But instead, she's realizing that most men out there lack depth, masculinity, and real value. The attention she gets is temporary. The excitement wears off, and suddenly she's looking back at what she had with you. This is the moment she starts comparing. She remembers how you carried yourself, how you handled situations, and how you made her feel. She thought she could replace you, but now she sees that she can't, at least not easily. A real-world example. Eric was in a relationship for 2 years before his girlfriend broke up with him. She said she wanted to explore her options. He didn't fight it. He simply let her go. He focused on his life, stayed quiet, and didn't react emotionally. Months later, she started reaching out, asking how he was doing. Eventually, she admitted that the guys she had been dating weren't on his level. She thought she could find better, but instead, she realized she had already experienced something rare, and she walked away from it. Women don't like to admit regret. They won't tell you outright, I made a mistake. But you'll notice it in their behavior. They start liking your social media posts, sending random texts, or asking mutual friends about you. These are all signs that she's feeling the loss. What makes this realization hit even harder is when you don't care anymore. The moment she sees that you're not waiting around, that you've truly moved on, and that other women are seeing your value, that's when the regret fully sinks in. The key takeaway? She only realizes she needs you when she sees that she can't replace you. And if you've been leveling up, the gap between you and the other men she meets becomes even wider. 7. When she sees that you no longer need her. Nothing makes a woman second guess her decision more than realizing that the man she left doesn't need her anymore. At first, she expects you to be hurt. She assumes you'll reach out, try to fix things, or at least show signs that you're still affected. But when she sees that you've truly detached, that's when she starts to feel the loss deeply. A woman's attraction isn't just about feelings, it's about perception. She needs to feel like the man she's with is valuable, strong, and in control of his life. The moment she sees that her absence hasn't weakened you, it makes her question if she actually walked away from something rare. When a man fully moves on, a woman feels it. She notices that your energy has shifted. You're not reacting to her, you're not seeking closure, and you're not holding on to the past. Instead, you're outliving your life. You're hitting the gym, handling business, socializing, and most importantly, not waiting for her to come back. This is where the power dynamic flips. She expected you to be stuck on her, but now she's the one stuck in her thoughts. She starts remembering the moments you shared. She starts questioning whether she truly made the right decision. And most importantly, she starts realizing that if she doesn't act soon, another woman will replace her. A practical example. Mark was in love with his girlfriend of 4 years when she suddenly broke things off. She said she needed time to think. At first, he felt the urge to chase, to explain, to fight for her, but instead he took a different route. He walked away completely. He didn't check her social media, didn't respond to her texts, and focused entirely on himself. Months later, she started reaching out, sending messages about just wanting to check in. Eventually, she admitted that she missed him, but by that time, he had already moved on. The key here is emotional control. Women can sense when a man is still emotionally invested. If you're lingering in her DMs, liking her pictures, or keeping the door open, she knows you're still available. But when she realizes that you've closed that chapter, it triggers something deep inside her. The harsh truth is this: a woman values a man who doesn't make her his entire world. The moment she sees that you've built a life without her, that's when she starts wanting back in. The key takeaway? The less you need her, the more she realizes she needs you. And by the time she figures it out, you might have already found someone better. A woman only realizes she needs you back when she feels your absence in a way that shakes her reality. It's not about words or arguments, it's about actions. The more you pull away, the more she feels the loss. The moment she sees that you're unaffected, unbothered, and thriving without her, that's when regret sets in. But here's the real power move. By the time she realizes it, you've already leveled up. You're no longer waiting, no longer hoping. And when she comes back, you get to decide if she's still worth your time. If you're looking to take a deeper dive into these concepts, join my Podium community. Link in the description. It's packed with powerful insights to help you master your masculinity in today's dating world. Stay strong, stay focused, and protect your power. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.